in the context of this data conundrum and the transition which I was talking about. I will start with you and we go.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, great. So my name is David, I'm with United Solutions. We are an emerging tech company, digital transformation company that focuses on introducing emerging tech like blockchain, AI, and IOT to the federal government. We are the first company to build a federally authorized blockchain for the federal government. And we're currently serving GSA, HHS, CDC with a variety of blockchains. So we were asked today to talk about the blockchain and the democratization of data. If you know the government, it's a very complex entity, highly inefficient at times. But one of the things that the government has is a lot of data. And the data and the structure of government has been organized around building fiefdoms around data. So one of the goals in a lot of the leadership in the federal government is how do we unlock these data silos to distribute the power, and from that gain insights and draw insights using technologies like AI to make things more efficiently. So I'll give you an example of how that's done today. So HHS has a program called Accelerate. And you may not know this, but HHS spends about $25 billion annually, and $16 billion is on services and $9 billion is on products. And by unlocking the data silos, putting transactional data onto the blockchain and mining it with artificial intelligence, we have already saved the government $750 million just in this year alone. And we haven't even looked at all of the data. So, and that's just one example. The same can be said about some of our grants work. The US government issues over $750 billion in grants, and you may not even know this, but for every dollar that for every dollar that's given out as a grant, 40% of that goes into administration. So if a university like MIT applies for a grant and they get a $10 million grant, well, 40% of that goes into administration. Imagine the inefficiency of that. And the reason why the inefficiency exists is because of lack of insight into the data, in the case of the grants world, into how the financial transactions are moved between grants and the federal government and the state government and all of the parties in the grant ecosystem. It's gigantic. It's actually gigantic.
Because of that reason, I left academia actually about 10 years ago. Yeah. I had enough of that. So now, who knows? Maybe they have a chance.
And then the last use case.
And by the way, we do not. The timer is running now. Okay, thanks. So you ran on empty so far. Okay, yes.
Okay. I'll talk about the last.
You can talk 5 more minutes. No,
okay.
Just kidding.
So the last thing we're doing is we're also saving lives with blockchain. So I don't know if you know, but there's an Ebola outbreak right now in Africa. And whenever there's an Ebola outbreak, there's a massive coordination of all of the healthcare expertise around the US and the in-country organizations as well, and the World Health Organization. There's a huge problem in coordinating a volunteer workforce. And blockchain allows us to, and AI allows us to build a de facto standing response force to respond to any emergency response in a very short time.
Yes, thank you.